President Obama endorse Hillary Clinton?
Well, he's definitely going to endorse the nominee, and I think he kind of showed his cards last week when he said the math is the math. And the math is clear, whether AP's right or today after New Jersey, which is before California. Either way, I think it's clear sailing into the convention. The secretary is going to be the nominee. The president's going to support the nominee. And I know that he's really eager to get out there.
So, and I know you're with him a lot,
Yeah.
And you were with him recently. This weekend, you were with him.
We were playing golf this weekend.
Did he tell you anything about his phone call with Bernie Sanders?
No, we were together. I believe he made a call to Sanders.
Why did he call him, you think? I mean, what's your sense? Would he say to him, look, it's time to step aside?
I think that when you're the head of the party and you see what's gone on over the past week, okay, he was in Asia, he has NATO coming up. You've seen what's gone on with respect to the California judge. I think it's much more important that we show a unified party together with the secretary and the senator. And I think he is the leader of the free world and the Democratic Party. I think he just wants to make sure at the time that we have a unifying message, that we're unifying and going after.
But it sounds like that's a call for Sanders to get out of the race.
Right.
If you want to unify, you got to get Sanders out of the race.
I mean, we're connecting the dots here. He basically said, hey, get out of the way.
Listen, whether the AP said it last night or it will be said tonight by everyone, including Fox, either way, the secretary will have the numbers. Whether people like it or not, superdelegates are voting. Okay, highly unlikely they switch their vote at the convention.
Highly unlikely.
So these delegates.
It depends on the circumstances. I mean, she also has the potential looming indictment over her head, right? I mean, we don't know what's going to come out of the FBI, and so it remains to be seen. I mean, there are some cards in the air. So I sort of reject that claim that it's all baked, except for the technicality of the convention.
By the way, Robert, Harlan's a Democrat.
Yeah, I have no issue. I have no issue. Everyone can reject what they want. She will be the candidate. She will be nominated at the convention, and it will be Trump versus Clinton. We can all speculate. Yes, there's a lot of things that could happen every day. Okay, but I think it's highly unlikely that the email situation.
Do you think there's anything wrong with the AP putting the story out before all these primaries? And there's been an implication in what a lot of people said that this was somehow manipulated, that the AP story was somehow concocted.
First of all, it wasn't just AP, and NBC also put it out.
But they based it on the AP. I saw the NBC report. It's based on the AP.
My view is, one, supposedly 20 superdelegates came out, which got her one electoral vote over. I mean, I would have liked them to wait till, the 6 primaries today, and California is obviously very important. New Jersey is important. They're all very important. And then at the end of today, the numbers are very clear. But the numbers are clear. I mean, I know we all want to make this Bernie-Hillary thing very close, but it's not close. She has 3 million more popular votes. She has 20% more in the electoral map, and she has about 50% or greater when it comes to all delegates. So it's just not that close. It was closer with President Obama and Secretary Clinton, and everyone knows I was hammering Secretary Clinton back then to get out.
Yeah.
And that was even closer.
So do you think Bernie Sanders should get out today?
I would like to think that after tonight, well, listen, he has the right to go to the convention. He's built a great platform.
Oh, he says he's going to the convention.
I would like his messaging to be much more unified. Whether he opts out or not, that's not for me to say.
Because she needs his votes. She needs those first-time voters and those young people. I want to ask you this.
Yeah.
1980, Jimmy Carter lost 5 of the last 8 contests to Ted Kennedy.
Yeah.
And what happened? Well, we know he lost in November, but also more than a quarter of Ted Kennedy's supporters voted for Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
Isn't that a legitimate fear for Hillary Clinton in this election?
No, because I would not compare Ronald Reagan to Donald Trump. No disrespect.
We keep getting that's all you got. That's all you got.
But there are a lot of people out there who do compare the two, in that they say Reagan wasn't taken seriously by the national media, and neither is Trump.
Well, it's good that you bring up Reagan. It's an interesting point, because the president will be going out for the secretary if she's the nominee. His rating is very high, and by the way, he's higher than where President Reagan is at the same point in his presidency. Okay,
his overall popularity is fine, but when you look at the economy, only 19% of Americans say that we're on the right track.
Okay.
This is a real problem. If jobs and the economy become the focus, especially in light of last week's jobs report, Hillary Clinton's irreparably tied to Barack Obama's economic policy. That's what I believe. And so how
Certainly
does
if he
she
campaigned
escape that
for her.
if it continues to deteriorate?
What do you
This is
think
a
about
problem
that,
for her.
Robert? I mean, we saw the jobs number on Friday, 38,000 jobs.
Yes, we saw that one jobs report. We also saw 14.5 million jobs created over 75 straight months. Okay, so there's a lot of things that's happening.
It is true. We have a 4.7% unemployment
I mean, look,
rate.
listen, we can have a whole debate as his
Labor
outsiders.
participation rate, and 10 of the 20 fastest growing jobs in the economy earn less than $25,000 a year. The jobs that we're creating aren't the right ones.
Harlan, I'm not questioning whether we are where we want to be, okay, to be clear.
But as Democrats, we've had 8 years to fix these problems.
Yeah, and
you've got so many families that can't afford to fix their air conditioning units. I know kids that are graduating from college, people my age, with $250,000 in debt, and they can't find a job. These are real problems.
And this
What
is
do you do with
real.
Democrats like Harlan, who are very upset with the way that...
Well, this is the frustration happening across the country.
Listen, no one's taking to issue that we're where we want to be. The question is, are we better off than where we were, and should we stay the path? I say yes. You may say no. We can have an economic debate. We can talk infrastructure and why the GOP have not passed an infrastructure bill or a national infrastructure bank. We could talk about, let's talk policy, though.
But how about this policy? How about
Okay.
policy on tax reform? Because Dagan brought this up earlier. Hillary Clinton has not tipped her hand on the corporate tax rate. What does she want to do in terms of her tax reform plan? In terms of the corporate tax rate, which we know is the highest in the world, which we know that Donald Trump wants to take to 15%, which we know that there's all this $2 trillion in cash overseas that we want to come back to America. Why isn't Hillary Clinton telling us what she's going to do with the corporate tax rate?
Well, a couple things. One, Hillary Clinton's put out a lot of policies, okay, just to be clear, versus someone who's put out no policies. Okay, so we can debate.
That's also not true.
Well,
Donald Trump has put his tax policy on his website.
Yeah, he put his tax reform
That tax
plan.
policy has a $17 trillion deficit to it.
Well,
Okay.
he says he's going to. It's actually it's 11 trillion according to the.
Okay, 11
No,
trillion.
I just want to be clear.
No, that's fine.
it.
Maybe 11.
And then Maya
I'm
McGinnis
off
from the
by-
committee of. Hey,
It's
what's
amazing
9 trillion between
It's amazing
friends?
on Fox we're debating deficits and trillions,
Right.
but that's
but
fine.
the point is he
9
does have a
trillion's
tax. He does have a tax reform.
9 trillion is what Obama's added to the national debt during his 8 years. So, I mean, it's not an unprecedented
You
number.
want to talk about where the deficit has gone while he's been president? The deficit has gone from double digits to 2.5%. Okay, I mean, you have to get your facts down. Okay, the deficit.
Well, he did add to the debt. He added to the debt.
We were talking about deficit.
Okay, deficit, they're both bad.
So we're not spending.
He's brought the deficit down more than any other president there's been. That's just a
from an
fact.
all-time high.
Does he really
That
want?
2.5%.
Yeah, all right.
But does he really want to expand Social Security now? Isn't that what he said last week? He said, listen.
I didn't hear that, so
Okay.
you have to give me the topic.
Absolutely,
But
absolutely.
I'm confused. Where do you want me to answer on?
No, I
on the
want you to
Secretary's
just make
corporate
the
plan?
case, for the
Okay.
corporate tax plan.
Listen, we know where the president was. He wants to go from 28 or even 25% for manufacturing. Secretary Clinton was the secretary during that time. She started Select USA, which was bringing back foreign direct investment. My gut tells me that, remember, we have to differentiate business reform versus personal reform. I mean, I think we're talking mid-20s, okay, where the Democrats are today.
Okay.
It's a question of how you debate the whole repatriation. We know repatriation under President Bush 43, that it was really just it didn't do anything other than give the ability for shareholders to really have new dividends and share buybacks. It wasn't really for the benefit of the country. Trickle-down economics did not work on that.
Well, you would